Hi, this is David Williams from iExpert Advisor. This video is called The Best Way to Learn VTS. In it, I'll show 25 steps to master the basics of the VTS Expert Advisor Builder. Step 1. Install VTS and enter your license key. First, go to the members area of our website and enter the email you used to purchase VTS, and then enter the password that's sent to you in the intro email. This gives you access to the member download site. It lists all the products that you've purchased along with their license key. So get the license key from there, and then the first time you start VTS, it'll prompt you to enter that same email address. You push verify, and this will bring up the products that you've purchased and allow you to enter the license key. So you enter the same license key that you got from the members area, and then select OK. And that will enable VTS. You should not be asked for this information more than one time. Step 2. Review the basics. When you get a chance, please review the VTS documentation. In the meantime, this is the VTS application. On the left is the toolbox. On the right are the properties, and in the center is the drawing pad. Step 3. Create an empty system, an EA that does nothing. From the welcome screen, click on Create New System, then click EA Builder. Uncheck all of these checkboxes so that no trading functions are created, just a single drawing. A main system drawing. This has a start element and an end element. I'll move the end element up so you can see it. And now push the build button. This converts the drawing into MQL code and then builds the MQL code into an Expert Advisor. Check the status and it shows that it's built correctly. Now push the platform button and this will open up your MetaTrader platform in one of the tabs in VTS. And we see our Expert Advisor by the same name as System 1 is created. And we have a whole bunch of input parameters. We say OK, and it's attached and running. So we just created an Expert Advisor. It does nothing, but we created one. Step 4. Add a message to the Expert Advisor. From the platform screen, click the tab that says System 1. Click the configuration button to open up the end element and go to the message tab. Enable send message and write to chart. Rebuild the Expert Advisor. Check the status. Go back over to the platform and reattach the Expert Advisor. Now when we say OK, we could look at the Experts tab and also the chart to see if our message is appearing on each tick. And there it is. So we are now writing a message from our Expert Advisor. Now I'll go ahead and remove the Expert Advisor from the chart by right-clicking and selecting Expert Advisor Remove. Step 5. Add the lower band value of the Bollinger Bands technical indicator to the Expert Advisor. So click on the main system drawing again and go to the toolbox, select Functions, go into the Indicators menu, then MQL, and drag out the I Bands element. Now connect it from start end to end and save the drawing. Then push the configuration button to configure the I-bands. And we'll go down to the parameter called mode and select mode lower. This will give us the value for the lower band. We'll say save, and then we'll go into the message tab and click send message and write to chart and select done. And so now we have that configured, and it will send a message. Push the build button and reattach the Expert Advisor. Now we get a message from our technical indicator as well as from the end element. Step 6. Create an input parameter to be used by the Bollinger Bands technical indicator. Click on the System tab to go back to the system drawing. Go over to System Managers, open the Input Manager, click Add to add a new variable. Keep the data type as integer, and for the name, enter my period, and enter a default value. Then select OK, and then select Done. Now we're going to use the my period variable as a parameter to the period variable in the IBands function. So we'll go over to period and we'll enter the name of our new variable, my period. We'll select Save, change the deviation to 2, select Done to save and close, build the Expert Advisor, and go back over to the platform and attach it. My period came up as an input parameter, and now you could change the period of your IBands technical indicator every time you attach the Expert Advisor to a chart. And here I'll attach the indicator itself to the chart, and we can see the values and make sure that they match. So the value that's being read by the Expert Advisor is the same value that you see when you attach the indicator to your chart. Step 7. Add a logic element to the drawing pad. Click the System 1 tab to go back to the main system drawing. Then go to the New Elements in the toolbox and drag and drop a logic element onto the drawing pad. And we'll remove these links because we're going to redraw links. I want the IBands indicator in front of the logic. I'm going to add a new end element and name it as end false. And I'm going to change the name of the other end element to end true. And I just do this so the drawing makes sense when I look at it. The output of the true logical endpoint goes to end true, and the false goes to end false. Step 8. Add a logical condition to the logic element. Select the tab that says System 1 to go back to the main system drawing. Then click the Configuration button on the logic element. Click the Choose button for the left operand and select Bid. Click the Choose button for the right operand and choose IBands 2. Select the operator. Then select Done. We've just created a logical condition in our logical element. Now we'll go ahead and add a message to each of the endpoints. For endpoint true, we'll add the message that bid is greater than IBands, lower value. And we'll add a similar message to end false. This way we'll get a message no matter what happens. It's a way to test our EA to see if the logic is occurring the way that we think it is. So I'll select Done to save and close the end element, rebuild, check the status, go back over to our platform and attach the EA. Select OK, and here we get the alerts that are generated coming from that end element. I'll need to remove the EA first and then close the alert screen. Step 9. Add another logical condition to the logic element. Click the System 1 tab to go back to the system main drawing. Go over to the toolbox. We're looking to add the isDemo function. It's under Advanced, Checkup, and we'll drag isDemo onto the pad. I'm going to connect it before the logical element where that function is used. I'll save the drawing and then configure the logical condition. We're going to add a new logical condition. So we push the Add button, use Choose to select Is Demo, and I can either use Choose or I can just enter the value True. And leave the operators equal to, and select Done to save and close. And then save the drawing. Build it, and check the status. Step 10. Open a sell order on a demo account. Select System 1 to go back to the System tab. Go to the toolbox. In the Trade menu, drag FN Open Order onto the drawing pad. Connect it to the true output of the logic. Configure FN Open and select the command function to opt sell, which will open the sell order. Then click Done to save and close. And I'll go ahead and remove the messages from the end elements so the alerts are not generated anymore. Build the system. Check the status. Go back over to our platform. It looks as though right now the bid is actually on the other side of the lower band. So I'll change that to greater than because I want to open a sell trade. I'll rebuild. Go back to the platform and run the Expert Advisor to see if the trade opens. Wait for a tick to come through, and yes indeed, the sell trade was opened. I'll remove the Expert Advisor and close the trade manually. Step 11. Open more than one sell order on a demo account. In the System Properties section on the right, in the System Managers, find the Open Trade Manager. Select the Maximum tab. We're going to change max trades from 1 to 2 and max sells from 1 to 2. This will allow the Expert Advisor to open 2 sell trades. Rebuild the Expert Advisor. Run it. We can see that the default values have in fact changed. And wait for a couple of ticks for 2 orders to open. Since it's an input parameter, I could also change this value while I attach the EA. So I'll change max sells and max trades to 3. Select OK. And allow the Expert Advisor to run, and it opens 3 trades. Step 12. Close trades on a demo account. Click the System 1 tab to go back to the main system drawing. We're going to remove the open order element from the drawing. So I'll just disconnect the links and put it aside for now. We'll go back to the Functions toolbox and drag out FN Close Order. This will close one order at a time. We'll connect it just where FN Open Order was. We can open it up and look at some of the parameters. None of them need to be changed. So we'll just select OK to close it. Now we'll build the Expert Advisor. Go over to the Platform tab, attach the Expert Advisor, and allow it to run over a few ticks to close each of those trades. One trade will be closed each time a new tick comes in and the Expert Advisor executes. So it could take a little while for all the trades to close depending on the market conditions. Now I'll remove the Expert Advisor, and about this time, after 12 steps, you might be getting a little fatigued. So it could be a good time to take a break. You can add a text element by right-clicking the mouse and selecting text, and add any text you'd like to any drawing. So I'm just going to put a note here on this drawing that I stopped at step 12. And that will stay on the drawing after I save the drawing, and when I come back, I'll know exactly where I was. Step 13. Using the MetaTrader Strategy Tester. I'm going to remove my note from the drawing, and then I'll go ahead and remove the FN close function and put the FN open order function back in for the purposes of this test. So I'll build the drawing. This rebuilds the Expert Advisor. And I'll go back over to the Platform tab to view the MetaTrader platform. And I can close some of the side windows and maximize the platform window so that I could see everything in here. Now I'm going to go down and select Strategy Tester and choose System 1. That's the Expert Advisor we're working with. I'll leave it on Euro, US dollar for a 1 hour period. And I'm going to leave this on the fastest method, open prices only. Now I can't quite see the start button. Well, let me set the duration. So if you're doing this test yourself, you could set it to the same duration. And now I'll just need to stretch this window a little bit so I can see the start button on the bottom right corner. This will start the test. And we'll take a look at the results and see that indeed we are opening a whole bunch of sell orders. Step 14. Use the MetaTrader Strategy Tester to evaluate a trailing stop. I'll click the System tab to go back to the main system drawing, open up FN Open Order, and move down to the bottom of the parameters and check the checkbox for Use Trailing Stop. Select Done. I'll go to the Input Manager, and I'm going to modify the stop loss values and the take profit values to 1000 so that our trailing stop, which is set to 100, has a chance to run. So I'll select Done, then build the system, check the status, go back over to the platform, and rerun the test. Now I'll go to the results and see if we have some modifies, and we sure do. We're opening cells and then we're modifying the order each time with the trailing stop. Step 15. Use the MetaTrader Strategy Tester with the TradeSignal Manager. I'll click the System tab to go back to the main system drawing. I'm going to turn off the trailing stop. And I'll go over to the System Properties and open up the TradeSignal Manager. I'll click Enable to create one rule, and this rule will be to close all trades on Friday afternoons, starting at 2 o'clock and run until the market closes or the end of the day. And I'll leave the rule as Close All. Select Done to save and close and build the system. Now we'll go back over to the platform and rerun the test. Take a look at our results and inspect it and see if we closed on Fridays. And yes, we did. Step 16. Use the MetaTrader Strategy Tester with the TradeSignal Manager, Part 1. I'll go over to the System Properties and open up the Open Trade Manager and I want to change the max trades and max sells from 2 back down to 1. I'll select Done to save and close, and then I'm going to go to the Trade Time Manager and disable our Trade Time rule. I'll select Done. Now I'm going to go to the TradeSignal Manager. I'm going to select Next Signal Rule Open None. This will prevent the EA from opening more than one trade. So we'll go over to the platform, run the test, and inspect the results. And indeed, it only opens one trade. Step 17. Use the MetaTrader Strategy Tester with the TradeSignal Manager, Part 2. I'll go back over to the System Properties menu, open up the TradeSignal Manager. I'm going to uncheck Signal Rule Open None and check Next Signal Rule Candle Delay. And I'll set the candles delay to 72 candles. I'll select Done to save and close, rebuild the Expert Advisor, and rerun the test and see if there's 72 candles or 72 hours between each open trade. And inspecting the times, I can see that is true. Step 18. Use the MetaTrader Strategy Tester to evaluate money management. I'll go back over to the System Managers, to the TradeSignal Manager, and I'm going to disable the Signal Candle Delay rule. Now I'll go back to the System tab, open up the Open Order function, and go to the Lots parameter. I'll change it from a fixed value, and I'll select the MM value, Money Management. I'm going to set it to 10% of the account balance. I'll select Done to save and close and rebuild the Expert Advisor. Now I'll go back to the platform and rerun the test. I'm going to change the duration to run over a longer period of time. I'll run the test and look at the results and can in fact see that the lot size is changing as the account balance changes. Step 19. Create a new system on a demo account. From the Welcome screen, create New System, then click EA Builder. This will open up the screen where you could select the trading drawings. I'm going to select all 4 and leave the name as System 2. This creates the main system drawing and 4 trading function drawings. Step 20. Build the Open Buy logic for a Breakout Expert Advisor. On the System 2 main drawing, I'll double-click the caption of the Open Trade element to open up its drawing. This shows us the drawing. I'm going to add a text element by right-clicking the mouse and selecting text, and then paste in the description for what this Open Buy trade should do. I'll go to the Input Manager to create new inputs. I'll create an input called Points Above. It's an integer data type, and the default value is 10. And I'll add another and I'll name this Channel Bars, and I'll set the value to 20. I'll select Done. Now I'll go over to the Functions toolbox, expand the bar menu, and drag the menu item FN Get Highest onto the drawing pad. I'm going to connect it after the start and before the logic. Save the drawing, and then I'll click the plus button to configure the FN Get Highest function. I want to change the end bar to our input value channel bars. This will get us the highest value starting from the 0 start bar to the input bar. I'll build the system. Check the status, and drag a new variable element onto the drawing pad. I'll click the configuration button to configure this. I'm going to name this variable Buy High. It's a double type, and the scope is system. I'll save it, and then go to the assignment tab to enter a value for the assignment. In this case, I want to do some math in the assignment. I'll take the value of FN Get Highest, and I'm going to add points above multiplied times the MQL built-in variable point. I'll select Done to save and close, and I'll connect the Buy High variable element before the logic element is opened by true. I'll build and check my status to make sure I have not injected any errors. It built successfully, so I'm okay. Now it's time to configure the logic. I'll open the logic element, select the Choose button, and select Ask from the Price tab. For the right operand, I'll select the Choose button, and from the Local tab, select my calculated variable Buy High. And for the operator, I want to choose Greater Than. I'll select Done and Build, and check the status. Step 21. Build the open cell logic for the Breakout Expert Advisor. From the main system drawing, I'll double-click the caption of the Open Cell Trade function to open up that drawing. It shows me the Open Cell Trade drawing function. I'm also going to paste the rule that's used for opening a sell trade into a text element on this drawing. I'll use the Input Manager to create some inputs for our Expert Advisor. I'll click Add and enter points below. I'll set a default value of 10 and then select Done to close and save. I'll go over to the Functions toolbox and drag FN Get Lowest function from the Bar MQL menu. I'll configure the end bar value to be equal to channel bars. And I'll connect this function before the logic element. I'll build the Expert Advisor and check the status. Going back to the toolbox, I'll drag a new variable element and configure it. I'll set its name as Sell Low. Save it, and then go over to the Assignment tab and enter a simple math formula involving the lowest value. I'll take FN Get Lowest and subtract points below times point. I'll hit Done to save and close, and connect the variable in front of the logic element. And I'll build to see if I injected any errors. I did not. It built successfully. So now I can configure the logic function. For the left operand, I'll select Choose, go to the Price tab and select Bid. For the right operand, I'll select the Choose button, go to the Local tab, and select the Sell Low variable. And for the operator, I'll select Less Than, and then select Done. I'll bill the expert and check the status. The EA built successfully. Now let's check the Error and Warnings tab. There's two build warnings here. They're coming from the logic elements on the close by drawings because those have not been configured. This isn't an error. It doesn't prevent the expert advisor from being built. It's just a warning, and a lot of traders will often leave their EAs that way. So this is something that could be ignored, but it's VTS letting you know that those logics have not been defined. Step 22. Build the close by logic for the Breakout Expert Advisor. From the Main System tab, I'll double-click the caption of the Close By trade. This opens up the Close By trade drawn. I'll add a text element and paste in the instructions for when to exit a buy trade. I'll go to the Input Manager and create a new input. Push the Add button and set the name. Well, first, the data type is a double. The name is Profit Target, and the default value is 100. I'll select OK and Done to save. Now I'll go over to the Functions menu, and from System 2 I'll drag out FN Get Highest 1, which is the same function we already configured for one of the open buy trades. And I'll also drag from the Trade menu the FN Get Order Info function. I'll select the info type to info_profit. This will give me the total profit for the system at the time. And I'll give this a good name. I'll name this function My Profit. I'll select Done to save and close. I'll now connect these elements in front of the Is Closed By True logical element. Now I'll add a new variable. I'll configure the variable. I'll set the name to Close By Low. I'll save that and then go to the Assignment tab and enter FN Get Highest 1 minus points above times the MQL built-in variable point times 2. I'll select Done to save and close, connect and build the system, and check to see if it built correctly. It did. Now I'll configure the logic. For the left operand choose, I'll select My Profit. For the right operand, I'll click the Choose button, go to the Inputs tab, and select Profit Target. And for the operator, I'll select Greater Than. So my profit is greater than the profit target. Now I'll add another condition by pushing the Add button. For the left operand, I'll go to Price and select Ask. For the right operand, I'll I'll go to the Local tab and select Close by Low. And for the operator, I'll select Less Than. Those are my two conditions. Now I'll select Done to close and save, and build the expert and check for success. Step 24. Build the close sell logic for the Breakout Expert Advisor. From the main system drawing, I'll double-click the caption of the close sell trade element and open up the close sell function drawing. It shows me the drawing. I'll go to System Functions and drag one of the functions that we've already created onto the pad. In this case, I'll get FN Get Lowest. And I'll get the My Profit function. I'll create a new variable by dragging a new variable onto the drawing. I'll set its name as Close Sell High. I'll save the name and then go to the Assignment tab and enter underscore FN Get Highest or Get Lowest 1. Plus points below times point times 2. I'll select Done to save and close and connect the elements. All of them before the is close sell logic will be evaluated. I'll build the EA and check for success. Now I can configure the logic function. For the left operand, I'll push the Choose button and select My Profit. For the right operand, I'll go to the Inputs tab and select the Profit Target. And for Select Operator, I'll choose Greater Than. And I'll add another condition by pushing the Add button. For the left operand, I'll go to Price and select Bid. For the right operand, I'll select Choose. From the local menu, I'll select Close Sell High. For the operand, or the operator, I'll select Greater Than, and I'll select Done to save and close. I'll build the system, and then check the status for success. Step 25. Test the Breakout EA in the MetaTrader Strategy Tester. I'll select the Platform tab to go back to the MetaTrader platform. And I'll select System 2, that's the system that we've been building, and I want to set the date to be exactly 1 month, in this case 3/1/2013 to 3/30/2013. And I'll run the test and go to the Results tab and the report to review the results.